As you can tell by the extensive Indian collection that has been displayed up here for you, I want to introduce my friend. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. I want to introduce my friend, Sandy Caroll. Sandy has been with me for a long time, something like 60 years, and has been a friend for 60 years. And she requested that I introduce her with just one thing, and that is her term for a description of her, and that is one who talks a lot. Okay? So I hope that you enjoy, finish your meal, and I hope you enjoy singing.
Thank you. I'm just going to behave for a moment. For y'all that know me. I'm going to get my PR. I'm going to get my PR person, Claire, then I'm going to come out behind this a little bit to show the fall picture. Because I want you to think back this time of year, 7,000 years ago, when it looked like this. The people, the Kinsloe House, the churches, supermarkets, and everything are on sacred ground. If these buildings were removed, you could go down 3, maybe 10 feet, and you would find the remnants of Indian campsites. Right where we are. They loved the area here. They had springs and creeks crisscrossing this area, so they had water, and they could go down there and get down on their hands and knees and take a drink. Next picture, please. The water would have looked like this. Need I say more about that? They slept under, last night, I went outside, and they slept under the same stars that we do. They said the same blessings to the Great Spirit as we say to our Heavenly Father. The difference was that it was Mother Earth and Father Sky, and when you passed away, you went toward the horizon, and that's when you entered the other world. Everything was the Great Spirit. If it was a cardinal, if it was a rock, if it was a leaf, it didn't matter. They worshipped it for what it was, what it looked like. I was amazed when I started researching the Indians. When I was a child, and I'm 71, we saw the little westerns. And the Indians were always like tonto, right? And the women always, they had chopped off hair. And they were, not very nice looking. I'm going to walk back and forth so I can see all of them. I got to studying this. And that made me start realizing that when I hunt arrowheads and I touch one, it's 7,000 years since somebody put their hand on there besides me. That's a long time, and that means I am nothing but a whisper in time. So if you go back to the Paleo era, which were the first known Indians here, we're going to go back 13,000 years. And that was the time of this fella here. As all of you know, it's the woolly mammoth. So they found the arrowheads of the Paleo man in the pits where they ran these beasts off a cliff and took the meat, and saber-toothed tigers. That's a long time ago. It's almost eerie. But when you're down on your knees under a big oak tree and you're 2 or 3 feet in the ground and your little shovel taps something and you pull out one of these, I can't tell you how my heart feels. I think I can drag up for the day and go home. My hunt is over. Even if my good hunting partner over there, Gina Chandler, hasn't found anything all day. Sometimes I don't find it. Sometimes I will hunt for 8 or 9 hours and never find a fragment of an Indian. And if you hunt, or if you ever want to go hunting with me, I'm open. I'll take anybody to the lake, to the creek. All you have to do is supply your own Dr. Pepper and peanut butter. Because you're going to do a lot of digging with me. Then you're going to get out in the water. And we're going to fill up under the banks. So sometimes I've been referred to as one who dances with snakes. Absolutely scary, isn't it? I went to the hill country not long ago, and my sister over there, Teresa, said, "Oh, no, 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 no. I don't want my baby sister to go to the hill country and hunt arrowheads because there's those big rattlesnakes everywhere." I said, "Don't worry about me, I'll be in the cabin." No. I didn't say that. I said, "No, I'm going to find one." So then I thought, I don't know anybody from the hill country to tell me how to do this. So I used my own head, which my fellow workers from trimmings will tell you there's not a lot to that. I got a rod and reel, a long one, and I would whip that cactus. And I had rubber boots on. So if I didn't hear a rattle, I stuck my hand in. So hunting artifacts, which a lot of people here told me that they would either love to find one or they had some. Well, it's real hard to find them at Walmart. I had a lady tell me one time, she said, "Sandy, I want to go hunting with you. I want you to teach me." I've got something to say about that. I want you to earn your right to find an arrowhead. So I went down to Lake Limestone, and there's a huge beach, and it curves all the way around. I said, when we leave my truck and you carry your gear, we're going to have to follow the beach for about a mile to get to the campsite. And the water edges away. Okay. So after about a mile, she's dragging on. We get there, she said, "I'm so glad we're here." She gets to hunting, and we're getting excited. She's finding flint, she's finding arrowhead. So at the end of the day, she said, "I'm so exhausted, I don't know if I can make it back to the truck." I said, "No, you know those woods right over there? We just go through there and the truck's on the other side." I had fun. Okay, Claire? We are. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine living in a teepee and your family there at the end of the day? And it looked like that. No street lights, no freeways, no sirens in the background. And when it was lights out, it was lights out. All you had was a campfire. That's it. They didn't know that 7,000 years from that time, that you could just flip a switch, turn the AC on, turn the electric stove on. Couldn't comprehend that. Hey, Claire. These are the arrowheads that I hunt, for all of those who don't really know that much about them. The ones with jagged edges were to kill their enemies. The Spanish, the white people, everybody that came after them, because they were harder to pull out once it stuck in you. The ones that are smooth surface were just to kill the deer and the antelope and things like that. The smaller arrowheads are to kill squirrel and rabbit and skunk, whatever your preference. They had the arrowheads to fit what they hunted. It was beautiful. Claire? These are the paleo points that you will find that are during the time of the woolly mammoths, so you can see better. Most of them have a fluke like the one on the end, and when they hit an animal, that allowed the blood to drain out, which preserved the meat. Which, as a matter of fact, I will say to Mary Ann, that she ordered this meal from Minnesota, I believe. Is that right, Marianne? So when the FedEx truck guy came and pulled up and said, I'm looking for a lady who ordered 50 pounds of buffalo. Need I say more? He said, is this the place? But anyway, thank you, Marianne, for that. That just helped tremendously to be able to eat native food. Claire? That's what happens when you walk along and find one, and you don't have to dig. When you're just strolling along, minding your own business, and there it is. And you reach down and pick it up, and somebody like me that's been digging in a hole for 3 hours looks at you. I've even hit my own brother at times. I was in the river with him, and I had been in the muck, and I hadn't found anything, and so for about an hour I'd been in the same muddy area, and I get up to go to the boat, and my brother moves over into my spot, and he pulls one out. It was black, beautiful, beautiful base on it. I said, I want to go home. And I'll take the boat with me. Claire? Okay, here she is. This is why we came today. The woman. Sorry, guys. It's all about her. Just look at her. Look at her face. She had worries. She had to do everything. Really everything, if you'll research. She had to raise her children. She had to be the mediator among her in-laws, her children. She had to clothe everybody, feed everybody. She had to pack up the teepee, her and the other women, and put it on the poles, the lodge poles, and move. When the husband said move, he said, see you there. She had to roll it all up and take it. She didn't have a spa. She didn't have a place to go and relieve her stresses. And you can tell that by looking at her. Like almost what she's thinking now today. Maybe she was thinking it just doesn't get any better than this. And maybe she was like some of us and said, oh, I am hurting. I had pulled weeds, all that. I was impressed with her when I first saw that picture. She paints it like it was. We've always seen Indian women pictures and you know, and they're beautiful. They have long flowing hair and they're riding a painted pony. This is the real thing. Her heart bled when she lost a child, when there was a drought, when there was no water, when there was nothing to hunt anymore. She cried. She didn't have Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz to go to. She had to, but she was the first people here before we were ever here. And she loved her heritage. Fair? This is so good because the Indians loved and worshipped people with gray hair. And wrinkles. I packed mine a little before I got here. Gray hair and wrinkles were a sign of wisdom. These were the storytellers to carry their heritage on. They had no books. So when you got gray-headed and wrinkle-faced and were unable to move the teepees, this is what you did. You got your grandchildren together and other people's grandchildren, and you told them about where you came from and all the stories. And you sat by the fire, and then those children would remember and they would tell their children. Maybe they made marks on rocks sometimes, you know, where they were going or moving, but the grandmothers grandfathers were the books of knowledge. Clear? Here we go. That looks happier. There's two young girls, and they're just out in the stream of clear water having a wonderful day. They had their problems too. They had to be taught from the get-go because they didn't know where they were going to be next. Maybe in the fall, maybe in the spring. They didn't know if they were going to have to move because there was trouble coming. White men were coming. They might not going to be in that place there where they were born. Because when we came in, inch by inch, so to speak, we said, we need your land. But we have got something that we will trade you for it to make you feel better. And the other day I was looking. If you've never seen a mirror before, our precious stones, and somebody said, I would give you several of these for a big buffalo room. And you went, I can't do that. I can't do that. But they had plenty of these to trade and barter. Fascination. It worked. We traded a lot from them. Now, people wonder like, well, the Indians are always on the warpath. That's not so. Next one, Clara. Clara's so good. This is a little Indian girl who's waiting for her warrior to come back. The reason I use this is if her husband died in battle, they made what they called a mourning blade, shaped like a half moon. I found two in my 40 years. They would go off by themselves and cut themselves. If they didn't bleed to death, they would come back into the tribe, and then they would move in with their husband's brother's family and stay with them and possibly find someone else, possibly not. But a lot of them died. The men cut their hair off when they lost a family, a wife or a mother. They cut their hair off. That was their way of mourning. My adopted son over there must be mourning somebody because he has more hair right now. Clara? Okay, here we are. This little painting right here is it's serenity, it's peace. She doesn't feel threatened, she's happy. Clara? Now, I want to talk about Joyce Morris, my friend, who couldn't be here today. She had surgery. Every woman has a talent. Joyce Morris' talent is trading of goods toward more priceless things. The women would gather occasionally from different tribes and they would trade the best work that they had. We have a lady here, Carolyn McCombs. Where are you, Carolyn? Carolyn's a woman of vision. She saw the Opry House before it was an Opry House, when it was a grocery warehouse, and it's the Opry House now. Everybody in here has such a great talent. They did too. They could sing, and you'll find out how pretty it will be in a moment. But they had a market like this. Claire? This is a pretty picture because it shows the feathers and the colors and the beadwork. And you would think that might, to them, was the easiest thing in the world to do, was to bead something, and it does such beautiful work. There's a lady who has a necklace right back here. It was handmade. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. She's back here. She'll show it to you later, yes. What an art and what a talent to take your fingertips and do such beautiful work. Claire? This woman would take nothing off of no one. I'll see a hand go up. That's her right there, reincarnated.
And I'm part Indian.
You got that? She'll take nothing off no one, and she's part Indian. You wouldn't want to barter with her. Claire? Here we go. If that was yours, and we have a lot of landowners here, hold your hands up if you own some land. Look at this. Okay, suppose you've been living there in that beautiful place for a long time. Suppose somebody rode up, a bunch of them rode up and said, sorry, you got to go. Now, would you say okay? Or would you fight?
Fight.
She said fight. Would you fight? If you had to pack that up and leave it in the mountains and the clear water and everything, would you leave? Or would you give it to them? What would you do? Fight. She said it real quiet though. Fight. Fight. That's better. I would have rolled me some biscuits on that, to have to leave that. Wouldn't you? Ann knows. To have to give up something that was your childhood home because somebody said so, that you didn't know anything about. You didn't know them. Oh, they didn't care whether it came from Missouri or Alabama or anything. They want my house. They want my home. And I'm not giving it to them. Claire? Here we go. Winter camp, hardships. If you didn't know how to chew a good deer hide with your teeth and soften it for your family to wear, you're going to get mighty cold. That's another thing the women had to do. They had to scrape the hides, and for the clothes to be worn, they had to make them soft so they would chew. Now, I don't know how many of you think about chewing on a hide for a month. Very difficult, but to make it soft, pliable, had to do this. Claire? There we go. Now, you talk about gossip. If you think those women didn't meet in those teepees and discuss things that were going on, and there were women in other teepees and they were trying to listen, same thing like we do today. Right? When we were working the other day, I said, what'd you tell Diane? I said, none of your business. You'll find out later. There. Okay, here he is bringing home the bacon. We're going to give guys a little credit today, okay? I'm going to give them a little bit. After a long, hard week of hunting, they came home with the meat. Then they threw it down and said, clean it, scrape it, make clothes out of it, and be quick about it. That was Father coming home, whether he'd been at battle or whether he had been on a hunting trip. They had to be brave. Clear? Oh, here we go. Y'all know who that is. That's Sacagawea. I was stunned when I read about Sacagawea. She took Lewis and Clark and their whole expedition all the way to the Pacific Ocean with a baby on her back and no GPS. Think about it. They trusted her. So that should have showed us way back in history that women are the best drivers. Can you imagine when they came to a big steep stream and a rocky hill and she said, go across? They said, no, that's not the way we're going. So she says, okay, so they go 500 miles out of the way. They argued then. There. Here we go with the beadwork. I myself am left-handed. I would do beadwork backwards. I don't know how they do it, but it is beautiful. Okay, Claire? Now, this is the war robe. All the battles that they fought, they painted something on the robe to signify that battle, whether they won or lost. And most of those are in the Smithsonian Institute. You know, they're priceless. Claire? Now, This is a young bride. She looks a little like she's saying, duh. That's because she's waiting for her husband-to-be to present her family with a gift for her. Now, if she was pretty and knew how to cook and sew and was pleasant, she might be worth 3 strings of horses and a half a dozen buffalo robes. If she was not talented and she was not very nice looking, she might bring a worn out robe and 1 horse. What do you think she would bring?
Who said puppy? Trade her for a puppy.
Trade her for a puppy. Well, how about that? I like that. Is Lloyd Hickerson? Yeah, there you go. How much would you trade it for Clara? He's not going to tell us. He's not. Okay, Clara. Oh, my. How would you like to come home after a long hunt and face her? No, I'm not going to cook tonight. I'm not going to sew. The kids are dirty and I don't care. But what are you going to do about it? Are you going to divorce me? I don't think so. But you can see that if you had to go hand to hand with her, I definitely would lose. Right, Margie?
For sure.
For sure. Clara? Where is Lloyd? Lloyd?
Yeah, we snuck that in there. That's a picture of Sandy when she was in high school.
Clara! Get it off! Whoa. Whoa. I want you just to look in her eyes. That's a dead stare, and that tells it all right there. I'm determined, I'm proud, I'm good, I'm honest. I do the best I can do with what I have. Someday somebody may remember me. I hope. I'm going to, for the end of my program, I want y'all to enjoy something with me that I found. He's going to turn it on. I want you to look at this picture and listen to this song. This is an Indian woman singing Amazing Grace.